The
Yes.
story of Natalie is really, really quite fascinating because, like her, abuse survivors sometimes still love their abusers.
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's newsman,
And if you were just
Logan
trying to
Crawford.
investigators, they now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're diving deep into a psychological thriller. The name of the book, What's the Truth? It is written by a terrific author and psychotherapist, Krystyna Stevenson. From surviving domestic violence to building a career helping others heal from trauma, this author brings decades of real-world experience to this gripping story, a story about a woman's descent into darkness. Her unique perspective, both as a therapist and a survivor, makes this conversation and this book ones you absolutely cannot miss. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team at Prime 7 Media for helping us put her on TV today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Krystyna, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you. Thank you very much that I'm here. I generally don't want to do interviews. I always reject interviews because it shows in some way that I'm showing off. Because I was just this very exceptional child who was starting writing on very, very early age. So I was a little bit spoiled as all one child girls are generally spoiled anyway. So I had my first not books, but stories and poems and plays performed in my parents' house when I was probably 6 or 7. But the first book, which we have even here because it was published now, it's this one. Now it's published in 2 languages, in English and Polish. And the title was Joke of Lord Windsor. So it's quite interesting that such a young child already had this connection at the time with England, but I was still in Poland till the age of after I finished university. I finished university in my town, Łódź, which is as I said earlier to you, the second biggest town in Poland. And from this early childhood, I knew that I will be the writer. So I studied Polish language and literature in my university. And this Polish language and literature didn't really help me much when I moved to London, because my parents, they wanted me to study architecture. My father was an architect, so I really supposed to study architecture. But people published my stories in newspapers and magazines already when I was in school, in high school. And this first book was when I was 13 years old. And after I wrote when I was 17 years old, this book. Oh. Which now is again already published in both languages as well. How it really was, which the title is quite similar to the book we're supposed to talk today about this battered wife syndrome, which is first book looks like that. What's the truth? And that book is my first book in English. And this is a book which I published when I came to England already, and I finished in England psychology, psychotherapy, counseling, hypnotherapy, all branches of caring of people with mental health problems. And really, if I would study this architecture as my father wanted, I probably never would study after psychology and never would really deal with this sort of problems, which I involve and included into this book, which we supposed to be talking about. But in Poland, I had beautiful life, and I was working on television as you do. I was TV presenter, and at this time when television was like novelty, TV presenter was some very respectable job of such a profession. Everyone knows you, and it was really fantastic. And even some we had like perks. Some firms were giving clothes to me to just like advertise, and next day all women were wearing similar dresses, of course, because it was something what this TV presenter was wearing. So it was a very, very, very nice time when I was in Poland, and I really shouldn't leave my beautiful country, but because it was communist time, still was communist time, and I was a journalist, so I was writing a news. And you cannot say this, or you cannot say something else, nothing at all, because that was big problem, obviously. Yes, and this is why I left. And when I came to England, I got married with English lawyer, with my husband who was a solicitor, criminal lawyer, exactly, if we can be more precise. And this is when I was studying this psychology. So from after I finished degree in psychology in England, I started to work in health, mental health sort of institution, charitable thing, which calls mind organization, mind like your brain, yeah. And this is very important, still existing in England, this mental health organization, and that when I got inspiration for this particular book, because that where I had this women, I had group of women who were actually battered wives, and I supposed to help them in going through all this difficulty in marital relationship or any whichever lover they have relationship, and that when I got inspiration for writing this book, and at the same time we also myself and my husband, who was a lawyer, and he was also knowing from the court what was happening in situation when these women trying to get divorced, or so in England at this time, it was everything pro men. It was very much against women. It's as we know, it's traditional English Yes, unfortunately, English approach. So this book even couldn't be published in England, but this is over 30 years ago. When I first time published this book with Dorans, which is American publisher, and after was republished with Crawford. It's also American publisher, and this is where I included all these cases of these women who were in the group and were analyzing individual cases later with psychiatrists, doctors, psychologists, any sort of people connected with medical and mental cases professions, and this is what I somehow combine all these cases of these women into this main character. And the main character is this Natalie. I don't know if you read the book, because you know, I was quite surprised that other people didn't read the book. Someone who was presenting this book in, and I saw that they presenting this book in Frankfurt Market, you know, so they really know some details, but it doesn't look that some of these people read the book, which
Yeah. The
yes.
story of Natalie is really, really quite fascinating because, like her, abuse survivors sometimes still love their abusers. And that's portrayed very well in this book, right?
Yes, this is this very complicated personality of the main character, very complex one, that this personality is a combination of so many different women's stories, but all these cases are put in this Natalie, who really to the end of the book, she's still somehow confused. She still, it's not a cure from her problem, which this problem is this battered wife syndrome. And this battered wife syndrome is extremely complicated things, which were for very, very many years just put under the carpet.
For Natalie's thoughts at one point actually turned to revenge and murder.
Yeah.
That's quite common in battered women syndrome as well, correct?
Yes. This is why I want to exactly show what to how far the mind of woman like that, abuse through her life by her partner, how far this mind can go. That she can be very dangerous and take revenge, even so strong like murder.
Yeah. Do you envision Natalie's story becoming a movie? What's the Truth becoming a movie?
No, this is the main thing why I got involved with these interviews and people from your circle. When I wrote this book, I thought it would be at the time, 30 years ago, it would be complete revelation if it would become to the screen. And I actually, when I work in Poland in television, and I also work as assistant of film director when I was back in Poland. So I've seen this book as a film. And it would be fantastic film because from one point of view, it's a romantic love story. On the surface, it's a romantic love story, but after it turns into some extremely complex and danger situations, and
It's a powerful story. I think it will resonate with readers. I think it would resonate with moviegoers as well. You've created the book, you've created the story. It's built on your own background in psychology. The issue of battered women syndrome is a very, very important one that needs to be explored. So hopefully Hollywood does pick this up and turn it into a film. We are out of time, Krystyna, but I want to thank you so much for joining us here today. The name of the book we've been talking about today is called What's the Truth? It takes a look at battered women syndrome through the character of a woman who is in love with her abuser, but at one point her mind turns to revenge and even murder. It is quite a story. It is so compelling. Krystyna, thank you for being our guest here today.
Thank you very much for having me on this interview. And I hope I will get some video of it, please, because I wonder what to...
Absolutely. We will get you all of the video of this interview. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.
Thank you so much.